India has some of the most stunning palaces, and in this video I'm going to take you with me to some of the best palaces that you can visit when touring different parts of India. Hi everyone and welcome to Sugar Spice Nice. My name is Shweta and in this video I'm taking you guys to experience the royalty of India. The Indian land has a history of mighty kings and legendary dynasties, and the grandest testament to their heritage lies in the magnificent palaces that stand tall till today. Bengaluru Palace is a 19th century structure commissioned in 1874 by the Maharaja of the Wadiyar dynasty. The palace is inspired by Windsor Castle in England and features fortified towers, turrets and elegant arches reminiscent of British castles. The beautifully carved wooden interiors hold intricate paintings, motifs, artifacts, trophies and clothes which were used by royalty. The lush greenery expanding in front of the palace has beautifully manicured gardens with colorful flowers and huge fountains, adding to its charm. You get a free audio guide with each ticket as well. This palace stands as a symbol of the Wadiyar dynasty's rich heritage with its stunning architecture, regal interiors and deep-rooted history. Just like the Bengaluru Palace, the Silicon Valley of India has many more landmarks which have maintained the city's deep connection with its rich heritage and royal past. One such spot is the legendary Tipu Sultan Summer Palace located in the heart of Bangalore. The construction of the palace began under Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan's father, and was completed in 1791 during Tipu's reign. Constructed entirely out of teak wood, the palace showcases the artistic brilliance of Indo-Islamic architecture through its intricately carved wooden pillars, ornamental arches and balconies, elegant floral motifs, and a grand darbar hall where Tipu Sultan held court from the eastern and western balconies. Today, the palace functions as a museum, offering a glimpse into the life and legacy of Tipu Sultan, and also makes for a peaceful sanctuary amidst the hustle and bustle of Bangalore city. The entry ticket costs ₹20 per person, and you can also get it online on the ASI website. Tipu Sultan was actually born in Devanahalli in rural Bangalore, but he gained popularity and was widely known as Sher-e-Mysore or the Tiger of Mysore. While Tipu Sultan and his father Hyder Ali established their dominance over Mysore in the late 18th century, the region had long been ruled by another prominent dynasty, the Wadiyars. Welcome to the official residence of the Wadiyar dynasty and the seat of kingdom of Mysore. This is the Amba Vilas Palace, popularly known as the Mysuru Palace and the crown jewel of Mysore. While the royal lineage of the Wadiyar dynasty dates back to 1399 when they began to rule the region and continued for over 500 years, the palace came into being in the 15 or 1600s and was actually rebuilt due to it being destroyed. This palace is one of the finest examples of Indo-Saracenic architecture. The majestic arches, ornate darbar hall, huge dome of the marriage pavilion and the meticulously landscaped garden surrounding it add to its regal charm. A visit here transports you into an era of unparalleled opulence and cultural richness. You can visit this palace in the night as well to watch the light and sound show depicting the 400-year history of Mysuru. The entry ticket for one costs ₹120 and it can be booked online as well. Let's go from the south to the north, from the legendary Wadiyar dynasty to the brave Kachwaha clan, from Mysore's crown jewel to Jaipur's crown jewel. Welcome to the Hawa Mahal. Built from red and pink sandstone, this palace is the signature look of the capital city of Rajasthan. The Hawa Mahal or Palace of Winds was built in 1799 by Maharaja Savai Pratap Singh. It gets its name from the 5-floor exterior that is lined with 953 small windows or jharokhas in a honeycomb-like structure. The outside structure is a tribute to Lord Krishna as it resembles his crown or mukut. The original intent of the lattice design was to allow the royal ladies to observe everyday life and festivals celebrated in the street below while maintaining parda. But the architectural feature of the jharokhas also allowed cool air to pass through, thus making the whole area more pleasant during the high temperatures in summer. The interior of the palace has domed canopies, fluted pillars, arches and floral patterns. The first few floors of the Hawa Mahal do not have any stairs but ramps that take you from one floor to another, and the other top floors can be accessed by stairs which are worth the climb, as you can enjoy a panoramic view of the city of Jaipur from the top. A ticket here costs ₹50, and let me tell you, the outside of Hawa Mahal is one of the best spots for a picture in the Pink City. You actually have to wait your turn to get the right spot for a good click. The Hawa Mahal is also attached to one of the most significant structures in Jaipur, that is the City Palace. The City Palace is to this date a royal residence and used to be the administrative headquarters of the rulers of the Jaipur state. This magnificent complex was built in 1732 and has remained the heart of Jaipur's royal traditions, witnessing grand celebrations, political affairs and cultural events. The palace was designed in accordance with Vastu Shastra and it exhibits a blend of Rajput, Mughal and European architecture. It has Chandra Mahal adorned with exquisite paintings, mirrorwork and floral decorations. The Mubarak Mahal, which is a 19th century reception hall, Diwan-e-Aam or the Hall of Public Audience, Diwan-e-Khas, Sri Govind Dev Ji Temple, Pritam Niwas Chowk and special rooms like Shobha Niwas, Chhavi Niwas and Rang Mandir. Access to the special rooms requires a separate guided tour offering in-depth insights into the palace's history, and it costs ₹3,000 per person. However, you can also explore the rest of the palace at your own pace, admiring rare artifacts and the exquisite belongings of the Rajput royal family. The entry ticket for one cost about ₹300, giving access to all palace courts and galleries. Before Jaipur, Amer was the capital of the Rajputs and the residence of the Rajput Maharajas and their families. This iconic fortress and palace was originally built by Raja Man Singh in the late 16th century, with significant expansions carried out by Jai Singh. The palace is a masterpiece of Rajput and Mughal architecture, showcasing intricate craftsmanship in its structure. It is divided into different courtyards, each with its own entrance and purpose. The Suraj Pole is the main entrance. The Ganesh Pole has an intricate design and a beautifully made gate leading to the private quarters. Nearby is the Diwan-e-Aam or the Hall of Public Audience, where the king addressed his subjects. The highlight of this palace is the Mughal garden and the Sheesh Mahal. The Sheesh Mahal is an exquisite chamber with mirror mosaics and colored glass work. This delicate work in this part shines differently as the day passes by. Since Amer Palace is open in the evening as well, it offers a completely different experience from its daytime views. Under the glow of lights and moonlight, the intricate mirror work shimmers and transforms the palace into a mesmerizing spectacle. In the evenings, visitors can also witness the history of Amer through an engaging light and sound show narrated in the voice of legendary Amitabh Bachchan.
सन 1036 बरसात की रात में दौर में धर्म और तहजीब।
A small area connected to the Amer Palace has been made into a restaurant called 1135 AD. This restaurant has its own Sheesh Mahal, private dining room, a collection of artifacts and chandeliers, and grabbing a bite here is like dining amidst royalty. Even if you don't visit the restaurant, do not miss the Amer Palace, as it is a living symbol of Rajasthan's royal past and a must visit when it comes to discovering the heritage of the Rajput rulers. The ticket to Amer costs ₹100 for Indian citizens. Truly, Jaipur feels like a royal city with so many palaces all across. But you know what? Even other parts of Rajasthan have several beautiful palaces like Udaipur. Udaipur was founded in 1559 by Maharana Uday Singh II and established as a new capital of Mewar. The construction of the city palace began around the same period and was built over nearly 400 years. This palace is considered as the largest royal building in all of Rajasthan, and it is the second largest palace in India. The royal family also resides in a few parts of this palace, while other parts are open to the public. Built atop a hill, the palace is an architectural fusion of Rajasthani, Rajput and Mughal styles. The entire complex is constructed using granite and marble with stunning mirrorwork, murals, inlay work, silver detailing and colored glass designs. The palace has the More Chowk with the stunning glass mosaics of peacocks, the Sheesh Mahal built in 1716 by Maharana Pratap for his queen Maharani Ajabde, Rang Bhavan and many other rooms. The pathways to go from one part of the palace to the other are small and narrow, made brilliantly to confuse intruders. Visitors can also enjoy the expansive views of Udaipur city and Lake Pitola from certain parts of the palace. They also offer a boat and cruise experience as well as a light and sound show in the evenings. The entry fee for Udaipur City Palace is approximately 450 rupees per person. Another significant structure in Udaipur is the Monsoon Palace, also known as the Sajjangarh Palace. This hilltop palatial residence was built overlooking the Fateh Sagar Lake in 1884 by Maharana Sajjan Singh of the Mewar dynasty. Built in white marble, the Monsoon Palace is a stunning example of Rajasthani architecture featuring high turrets and watchtowers, giving it a fortress-like appearance. It also has a grand central courtyard with a magnificent staircase, marble pillars adorned with intricate carvings of leaves and flowers, domes, mountains and jharokhas. The outdoors of the palace offer breathtaking sunset views over Lake Pitola and Fateh Sagar Lake, while the indoors give a glimpse into royal hunting traditions, as the palace once served as a hunting lodge for the Mewar rulers. With its historical charm, architectural beauty and mesmerizing views, the Monsoon Palace stands as one of Udaipur's most iconic landmarks, capturing the essence of Mewar's royal legacy. Originally envisioned as a 9-story astronomical center, this palace was meant to track monsoon clouds and offer a retreat for the royal family. However, due to Maharana Sajjan Singh's untimely demise at the age of 26, the ambitious project remained incomplete and was later finished by his successor, Maharana Fateh Singh. Another structure that underwent a transformation from its original purpose is the Rambagh Palace. What began as a modest garden retreat in 1835 evolved into a royal hunting lodge before transforming into the magnificent residence of Maharaja of Jaipur. Today, the Rambagh Palace in Jaipur stands as a timeless symbol of grandeur, offering guests an unparalleled experience of Rajput hospitality. Adorned with hand-carved marble lattice work, intricate sandstone railings, and sprawling Mughal gardens, this palace exudes opulence at every turn. It also has a gold-covered dining room called Suvarna Mahal, an 18th century style ballroom, and also iconic spots like the Polo Bar and Rajput Room. And unlike most palaces where visitors admire the splendor from afar, at Rambagh Palace you can immerse yourself in the royalty. After centuries of being a private abode to the Maharajas, this palace has been converted into a luxury hotel by the Taj Group of Hotels. Courtyard view rooms, silver furniture and golden cutlery, huge peacocks dancing around and traditional performances. The stay gives you the perfect touch of Rajput hospitality. From golden thalis and lavish buffets to grand Maharani suites and heritage-inspired rooms, every experience here is designed for absolute indulgence. Today, Rambagh Palace is one of India's most luxurious heritage hotels. You can book a stay here starting at whopping 35,000 per night. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to live like royalty but don't want to spend a fortune on an overnight stay, then indulging in a lavish meal at one of these palatial restaurants is the next best thing. But not all palaces in India require a grand budget to experience the magnificence. And if you are a budget traveler looking to get a glimpse of royalty, then you can visit the Matancherry Palace, which has opened its gates for all at just ₹5 per person. Mattancherry Palace, popularly known as the Dutch Palace, is a historic landmark in Kochi. Despite its name, the palace was not built by the Dutch but by the Portuguese in 1545 CE as a gift to the Kingdom of Cochin. In the 17th century, the Dutch took control of Kochi and renovated the palace, leading to its present name, the Dutch Palace. Today, the palace stands as a testament to Kerala's royal and colonial past. However, European influences can be seen in elements like the arches and proportions of the chambers. The palace is now a museum that houses exquisite murals, royal artifacts, and historical exhibits that reflect Kerala's rich past. Some of the key attractions inside include murals, portraits of the Rajas of Cochin, coins, stamps, ivory palanquins, and howdahs. The ticket is just 5 rupees per person, and you can even get it online on the ASI website. Another stunning palace in the southern part of India is the Padmanabhapuram Palace, also known as the Kalakulam Palace. This is a stunning masterpiece from the Travancore era. It was originally built in 1601 CE by the rulers of Venad, and it is one of the finest examples of traditional Kerala-style architecture and serves as a reminder of Travancore's glorious past. Unlike the grand stone forts of Rajasthan, Padmanabhapuram Palace is a wooden marvel. It features intricately carved wooden interiors, sloped roofs, latticed windows, and spacious halls that maintain a cool, airy ambience. The palace complex consists of multiple fascinating structures like Mantrashala, Thai Kottaram, and Natakashala. The entry ticket for Indian citizens cost Rs 50 each. So these were some of the oldest must-visit palaces of India. Many of them fall under the Archaeological Survey of India, so you can book the tickets online on their website. I've shared that link along with other details and locations in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. Also, if you want a part 2 of more stunning palaces in India, then let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed watching the rich heritage from the country, then give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family who would be interested in visiting these. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!